Yeah, give me 30 million top up. Thank you. Hello, babe. How you dey do? Talk to Buba.
Hello? Hello?
Don't settle for a provider that cuts into your data and airtime.
Ria, give me all the 30 bills.
AfriCell gives you full value. AfriCell, now we network.
Checking your motor insurance status can be done easily now with AfriCell. Dial *9292# from your AfriCell line. Press 1 to enter your vehicle registration number. Enter your vehicle registration number. You receive a confirmation message indicating your motor insurance status. AfriCell, the network for you.
You are watching AYV Television.
From our broadcasting house here on West Street in Sierra Leone's capital, Freetown, this is Primetime News on AYV Television. You're also hearing us on radio this evening on 11.7 and also on channel 33. My name's Victor Jones, as always. We're going to begin tonight's news with the headlines.
11-year-old Bethany Matilda Jasmine Chelsea Davis of Tar Hill Kindergarten and Primary School tops this year's National Primary School Examination, scoring an aggregate of 351.
The highest aggregate T score obtained in the 2026 NPSC was 351.
Major shake-up in the President Bios-led administration as Finance and Foreign Affairs ministers bow out, making way for Khalifa A.F. Kagbo as the new proposed finance minister, and Mohamed Rahman Soare, who is reassigned to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Also tonight on Primetime News, stakeholders convened in Kenema District to address prolonged barriers confronting persons with disabilities.
For design a proper strategy, who now within the community that they decide.
Now for the news in details.
Well, hello and welcome from wherever you're joining me tonight. I am Victor Jones. Now, first in the news tonight, just days after the state opening of Parliament, where President Julius Maada Bio delivered a comprehensive address highlighting economic policy, foreign relations, and other national development issues, major political realignments are already taking shape at State House. And a public notice issued today by the Office of the President, significant changes have been announced at the highest levels of government. Now, most notably, Mr. Khalifa A.F. Kagbo takes the helm as the new Minister of Finance, while Mr. Mohamed Rahman Soare is appointed Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation alongside Mrs. Jeneba J. Bangura as Deputy Minister. Now, the former Minister of Foreign Affairs, Timothy Kabal, and former Minister of Finance, Sheku Fantamadi Bangura, were also appointed to serve now as presidential advisors. Following these key replacements, discussions on whether their new role is another milestone or just a form of demotion continues to rise. Now, people living with disabilities in Sierra Leone continue to encounter obstacles in education, employment, public life, and even in decision-making. In Kenema, the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities, One Family People, and Lilian Funds have brought stakeholders together to examine how those barriers can be reduced through community-based rehabilitation. Samal Falahai now reports with footage by JJ Kamara.
More than a decade after Sierra Leone enacted the Persons with Disability Act, advocates say gaps in enforcement continue to limit equal participation. Stigma, discrimination, and restricted access to opportunities remain concerns for many people living with disabilities. Samuel Macaulay said discussions must result in measurable changes in communities rather than they remain confined to conferences and policy commitments.
If we want to design a proper strategy, we won't have within the community that they start. If we are not showing how to address one problem, the let's get what we call it. Now, waiting at CBI, community-based rehabilitation. For some of we don't go different countries the way we teach other countries how to use this strategy. And when we come now, we don't country. The strategy will even take off it.
The National Commission for Persons Living with Disability says it is also seeking changes to the 2011 Disability Act, arguing that an updated framework is needed. Disability representatives called for tougher enforcement, wider employment opportunities, and stronger safeguards against discrimination.
Disability is still a problem. Then awareness among stakeholders, then access to livelihoods, and then access to health facilities. Now, big challenge for them. They raise all the issues there, including stigma is still there within communities, discrimination still there within communities.
For students with disability, affordability remains another obstacle. Some say application module and graduation charges at tertiary institutions have contributed to students abandoning their studies.
Myself, now a student with disability, we are in a university now with my colleagues them. We don't face a lot of challenges where we don't even need to some of we colleague students the way they enroll together, they don't drop out of the course where they do. What cause this one? But because of the lack of the accessibility.
Say inclusion will ultimately be measured not by number of policies adopted, but by
Sierra Leone has announced the results of the 2026 National Primary School Examination with 11-year-old Bethany Matilda Jasmine Chelsea Davis of Tile Kindergarten and Primary School recording the highest aggregate of 351. Dan Horrigan Memorial School in Tengbe Town was named the country's best performing school with 100% pass rate and an average score of 327.70 overall. 78.2% of candidates passed, with girls accounting for 3 of the 5 highest scoring pupils. Let's now hear from our education reporter, George Bartlett Paul, with pictures by Chedo Darami.
Bethany Davis.
For Bethany Davis, the recognition follows a strong performance in the classroom where she had already distinguished herself in several subjects.
Proficiency, spelling, science, French, verbal aptitude, quantitative aptitude.
At 11, she has now secured the highest results in this year's National Primary School examination.
The highest aggregate T score obtained in the 2026 NPSC was 351. This was higher than the 346, which was the highest aggregate T score of 2025. It was obtained by an 11-year-old female candidate, Davis Bethany, MJC, from the Tower Hill Kindergarten and Primary School.
Bethany says she is excited and humbled to have emerged as the leading candidate in this year's NPSC exams.
I feel excited and humbled at the same time. I'm proud of myself and I'm proud of my school. What popped up in my mind, I was very shocked at the first time because the minister was saying that a 11-year-old girl came first for the entire country. I was so shocked and excited. I prepared by doing my homework, paying attention in class, and also seeking for guidance. I want to say a very big thank you to my parents and family because they've always been on my side whenever I'm down. I want to say a very big congratulations to them that we all sat the MPSC together. We did it. We really did it.
The result adds to a pattern of strong performance by girls in recent NPSC examination, although this year's wider result shows boys accounting for a greater proportion of the general results. Despite producing the highest score in pupil, Tower Hill Kindergarten and Primary School was not the country's highest ranked institution.
This is Dan Harrigan Memorial School at Stembe Town. This school emerged as the top performing school in the 2026 NPSC with a record of 100% pass rate. All 23 candidates who sat the examination passed the exams with an average score of 327.70.
The school's deputy head teacher says preparation began well before examination day.
We sent 23 pupils. We have 100% passes, and then for the preparation, we've been trying as a school. These are the kids that started here at the nursery department since nursery to prep 6. The teachers are working tirelessly to make sure that they have the acquired and the required notes, what they are supposed to have. Well, I feel excited, happy, and for the past years, we've been doing well, been trying, but this year, as the best performing school for the whole country, we feel blessed.
The Minister of Basic and Senior Secondary Education, Konat Saki, says IEC submitted results for 164,714 candidates from 5,228 schools. He added that 65.2% reached or surpassed the ministry's pass benchmark, while results for 1,927 candidates were withheld over suspected examination malpractice.
It is important to note that the result of 1,927 candidates have been set aside by WAEC for a variety of reasons that include failure to submit continuous assessment scores and suspected exam malpractices.
For Bethania and the other high achievers, the results mark an important milestone. For the education authorities, the figures also leave the continuing challenge of improving performance while tackling examination malpractice. George Batulo Powell, AYV News, Freetown.
The Ministry of Environment has engaged line ministries, agencies and stakeholders in the Western Urban area on a consultative meeting on the Climate Change Development Bill, which still awaits parliamentary approval. The Act hopes to address, among other things, the significant gaps that exist on climate resilience and achieving a just energy transition. Our reporter Sheko Mohamed Sila has more.
The Climate Change Act creates a legally binding framework to mitigate carbon emissions, manage serve weather risks, and hold both government and industries accountable for reaching long-term environmental and economic stability goals. Minister of Environment, Jiwo Emmanuel Abdullahi, says the Act exhausts all existing laws and regulations on climate action.
Has presented us with a lot of challenges. Whether it's Sierra Leone, the region, or globally. It also presents opportunities. But currently, we don't really have laws that help us navigate through these challenges or that prepare the ground for us to take advantage of these opportunities. That's why we, as a country, through the Ministry of Environment, are working on this climate legislation. But legislation like this it's national. It's a national instrument, and to make it effective, it's important that it be very consultative. The country can respond effectively to climate change. So it's not so much the implementation that's our issue, it's that we don't have the laws that would guide us through that implementation. One really focuses on climate action, but it touches, it cuts across all of government. It cuts across the entire economy, because climate change affects everyone. I mean, it affects every sector. It affects roads, it affects transportation, it affects energy, it affects our schools, it affects our hospitals. And that's why, we want to ensure that all sectors have a say in what goes into a law like this, because it affects the entire society.
The United Nations has in recent time backed Sierra Leone's climate and environmental framework that advocates for a whole of society approach. In a submission, Deputy Director General for Meteorological Agency, Gabriel Parker, akin environmental problems as human-made, which tend to impact country negatively.
Is very, very useful because the Act is going to serve as a ground rules when it comes to interventions for climate change actions. Because, in Sierra Leone, climate change is cross-cutting. The Met Agency has a kind of a lateral role within the climate change space where we provide scientific guidance. But also, that we have other institutions that also provide some climate change intervention. And also, for me, as the UNFC focal point for Sierra Leone, I think it's very much imperative for us to have the Act, because normally when you have this Act, it's also going to give birth to regulations that's going to shape our action when it comes to climate-related issues in Sierra Leone.
It is no gainsaying that the law doesn't stop the rains from coming, but can regulate man's behavior towards environment. Shikomo Hamid Sleh, AYV News, Freetown.
The National Social Security and Insurance Trust, NASIT, has officially ushered in a new Director General and Board Chairman following a formal handing over ceremony at the institution's headquarters in Freetown. Chairman Mahmoud Jalloh takes over from Mohamed Faoud Dabo, who served as Director General since his appointment in 2018. Mohamed Bakar Kamar brings us the details in this report, which was filmed by Emmanuel Sisse.
Without bringing the staff at the center of business, I also want to hand over to you the terms and conditions of service for staff.
The transition follows a July 21st, 2026 announcement by the Office of the President appointing Chairman Mamadou Jalloh as the new Director General of NASIT, subject to the applicable approval process. In his handing over statement, outgoing Director General Mohamed Faoud Dabo described his tenure as one of the greatest honors of his professional life.
Established that to look after our colleagues in the informal economy, and of course, by extension, a big gain to this government. We have advanced decentralization by constructing the Boyamba District Office and West Regional Office in Port Locod, which near completion. The scheme started with regional representations, but today, NASIT has taken the bold step to take the service to the doorstep of our people in the district. Boyamba is a living example, Mr. Honorable Minister. We have enhanced stakeholders' engagement through public education, improving communication and strategic partnership. You may recall that NASIT has been for the last 15 to 20 years under the spotlight. How consistent we are in our administration. But today, NASIT is a household name wherever you move in this country, and particularly to two groups that are members of the board, Employers Federation and the Congress. Congress will attest to the fact that their workers and everybody are now very much familiar with the scene of NASIT. Of course, we have extended enough equipment in terms of staff development for their engagement. I will have crop of professionals today. At the international level, NASIT, I'm proud to say that NASIT now stands at the center of things in our international organizations, ISA, which is the International Social Security.
For incoming Director General Chairman Mamadou Jalloh, The appointment represents more than a challenge in leadership. He says, in his first statement as Director General, Jallow described the transition as the renewal of a national trust, emphasizing his responsibility to protect the aspirations of millions of hardworking Sierra Leoneans who look to NASIT as a pillar of security, dignity, and hope.
NASIT has experienced and capable people, and I have made this clear also in the first management meeting I held. This is why NASIT has been around for a while, since 2001. I respect the assets that I will inherit here. So we will work together. I will need your commitment, I need your ideas, and your professionalism. Without that, we don't have a chance. But we must also recognize that the ultimate responsibility is to the contributors. The outgoing DG alluded to that earlier in his speech. And the pensioners of this country, a group he has joined now. They expect their contributions to be managed responsibly. They expect efficient service. They expect their pensions to be paid accurately and on time. And above all, they expect to be able to trust this institution.
The leadership transition at NASIT comes with expectations for continuity, institutional strengthening, and improved service delivery as Chairman Mamadou Jallow assumes office. Attention will now turn to how the new administration will build on existing gains while addressing the evolving social security needs of Sierra Leonean workers. Mohamed Bakar Kamara, AYV News.
Now in Grafton, frequent electricity cuts are disrupting carpenters' work, while raising prices for timber, nails and fuel are reducing already narrow profit. Tailors face another burden which adds pressure to their daily earnings. Yet for many young people and families, vocational work remains a vital source of income and a way of passing practical skills to the next generation. Esther Bangura filmed this report, produced by Abubakar Siddiqui Jallow.
The machinery is silent in these carpentry workshops as another power cut has brought production to a standstill, leaving unfinished orders and customers waiting. For artisans who rely on their trades to meet household expenses, every interruption comes at a cost. Carpenters say unreliable electricity delays work, while the rising price of basic materials leaves little room for profit.
Customers in the chemical station, they go report to the cost of light. And we don't work there, so if we don't get light, we're not able to work. And now most of the apparent machine are doing land work. So if you see this story, we're not able to take care of the family there. If you see we don't get light, we're not able to take care of the family because work not good day. And we'll get with time to customers there.
The issue right now is not easy for you because you think they will buy the material and all along up. So considering people that can't work any period according to 15 years, again I had to sustain for keeping family. He said, look, I learn a go learn a factory, but right now the factory now you give for free. Now make you sell cow how to sustain
Tailors describe a similar struggle, saying these challenges take a significant share of what they make each day.
We work different. We work both man, woman, work for them. Like the whole team. So you know that is people get from the customer and then for that sustain me and the family right. But at the same time, councilmen can come. They get different prices, fixed price all this. Sometimes the other one only they kind of see. For pay 500 and the guy is in 1 million. You get for it, you get for sustain your family. Don't wait then can now. Under that harassment, see the law.
We don't count now they pay shop fee winner 5 million. They'll count it back, see cancel the bag the pressure we back something like for 1,500,000, 1 million. So like I don't see safe now, something is it will be say look right to because at the end of the day if you spend no more for the people they all waiting are you work for.
Despite higher costs and weaker earnings, artisans say they remain committed to their trade. Some are also training younger people, hoping to give them skills they can use to earn a living.
Yeah, we use this skill for every community in the ways it like some side they can take picky they can pay them 1,200,000, 2,500,000, but like kuna we can take no more free.
From carpentry benches to tailoring tables, these trades provide an income where formal opportunities can be scarce. With Sierra Leone's adult literacy rate estimated at about 48%, practical skills remain an important route into work for many young people and households. Abubakar Siddiqui Jallo, AYV News, Freetown.
Tonight, for court update, we join Ibrahim Ramadan Jallo.
A plumber has been sentenced to 5 years in prison after being convicted of stealing 75,250 leones from a vehicle belonging to the National Pentecostal Church in Freetown. Fode Faragbo was found guilty of 1 count of larceny from a vehicle contrary to Section 2 of the Larceny Act of 1916. The court heard that on the 4th of May 2026, Faragbo stole the money from a vehicle bearing registration number APG 911 at Brandno Drive 2 in Aberdeen within the Freetown Judicial District. According to the police charge sheet, the money belonged to the National Pentecostal Church. Faragbo, a Sierra Leonean plumber who resides at Aberdeen Ferry Road, was arrested on the 26th of May following police investigations and was subsequently charged with the offense. During the trial, the prosecution presented evidence in support of the charge. At the conclusion of the proceedings, Magistrate Mustafa Brahmacha ruled that the prosecution had proved its case beyond reasonable doubt. Faragbo was convicted and sentenced to 5 years imprisonment. The court subsequently ordered that he be remanded to serve the sentence. The case ends.
You're still watching Primetime News on AYV Television, and you're also hearing us on radio this evening. My name's Victor Jones. We're going for a short break. We shall be back.
This one is for the bold ones. The people who shaped their world and the winners who still put in the work. Cheers to those who start great things. When you start, you're hard to stop. You raise your game and never back down because you're bold enough to make it. To you I say, never stop. Mutik, never stop starting.
Do you know you can transfer money, buy airtime, and pay all your utility bills in just a minute? You can have access to your accounts anytime, anywhere. Welcome to the world of fast and easy. GT Wall. With the GT Wall, you can transfer money from one GT Co account to another, pay utility bills, get account statements, get airtime, and check your balance. With GT Wall, you can buy Exa anytime, anywhere. You can go to App Store or Play Store on your iPhone and Android devices, download the app, and enjoy. GT Co. Wouldn't you rather bank with us?
All right, welcome back. You're still watching Primetime News on the Africa Young Voices. My name's Victor Jones. Many thanks indeed for joining us tonight. Let's continue with more stories. Now, for years, residents of Mosongo community in Kori Chiefdom, Moyamba district faced significant challenges accessing safe drinking water and adequate sanitation facilities. Women and children often traveled long distances in search of water, exposing themselves to health and safety risks while relying on unsafe sources to drink. Now, to address these challenges and more, Goal Sierra Leone, with funding support from Charity Water, has provided critical water and sanitation infrastructure aimed at improving the health and well-being of residents there. Let's now hear from Yero Jalo, reports with visuals by cameraman Emmanuel Sese.
Access to safe drinking water is recognized by the United Nations as a fundamental human right. Yet, globally, nearly 1 in 4 people, or 2.1 billion individuals, still lack access to safely managed drinking water services. In Sierra Leone, access to safe water, sanitation and hygiene remains a challenge for many communities. Children often spend valuable school hours fetching water instead of attending classes. Poor sanitation conditions continue to expose families to waterborne diseases, while inadequate hygiene facilities increased health risks for women and children. According to a major joint World Bank and UNICEF sector report, only 23% of Sierra Leoneans have access to safe drinking water at home. 1 in 4 people still practice open defecation, while only 12% of households have facilities for hand washing with soap and water. Unsafe water and poor sanitation contributes to nearly 30% of the country's health burden. The impact extends beyond health. Sierra Leone loses an estimated 5% of its gross domestic product annually due to illnesses and productivity losses linked to poor wash services. In response to these challenges, Gold Sierra Leone, in partnership with Charity Water, is working to improve access to safe water and sanitation through its Rural Wash program. The initiative aims to contribute to universal access to safe and sustainable water services in Kenema and Moyamba districts for residents of Mosongo community in Kori Chiefdom, with a catchment population of more than 6,500 people. Access to clean and safe water is now becoming a reality.
You would be far from the water, and now you would not find. The distance is far. The Kumoya pass to go to close, get water. Because we may go fight again for get water. Water then there we now. Maybe I just tell them more thank you. Community they don't because we may strain again for get water again.
And we can this community, we not be get water. When you want get water, we get a swamp now, we get a pump now, we not function all the time. So in a swamp, they belly one day. If somebody want for going to labor, now swamp, the people they will go get.
Gold Sierra Leone says the program was designed to reduce the prevalence of waterborne diseases while improving the health, dignity and resilience of underdeserved communities.
Official handover 42 water points and poor sanitation facilities to the people of this district. This is more than the handover of infrastructure. It is about improving health, restoring dignity, creating opportunities, and transforming life. For many years, as you all heard even from the paramount chief, access to safe water has been a daily struggle for many communities across Moyamba district. Families rely on unsafe water sources while women and children walk a distance every day in search of water. Children lost valuable learning time. Families face constant threat of waterborne diseases. And
government has welcomed the intervention, describing it as a significant contribution to the country's efforts to improve water and sanitation services. The Minister of Water Resources and Sanitation acknowledged the partnership and reaffirmed the government's commitment to expanding access to safe water nationwide.
As a government, we're very committed for this. We not just they come and plant the water. Government they put in a lot of processes in terms of planning. What they plan within the medium-term plan. As a ministry, we don't develop a 10-year national wash access plan where all the partners that are also contribute for it.
Intervention has come at a critical time and is already transforming lives.
All the road water, once somebody want to get good water, pass by market water. They put it to horses. Not to all man get and that which buy water. And more we get
as the facilities are formally handed over to the community, attention now turns to sustainability and local ownership. For residents of Mosongo, these new water and sanitation facilities represent more than they offer improved health, dignity, and opportunity for generations to come. Yero Jalo, AYV News.
Now, 55 Sierra Leonean women have passed into womanhood through the Bondo Society without having to undergo female genital mutilation, as it were. Now, the ceremony took place in Mabele community, Thawia Chiefdom, Bakeloko Chiefdom in local districts. The women are the fourth batch to complete this particular alternative rite of passage, which is popularly known as the Bloodless Bondo. It's an initiative being implemented by the Amazonian Initiative Movement. Let's now hear from Issa Bangura, who has a story which was filmed by Ali Bangura.
I am standing here in Mabale community, Kawia section, Bakeloko Chiefdom in Kotloko district, where history was made today. 55 women have just entered the Bondo Society through a bloodless initiation organized by the Amazonian Initiative Movement. Instead of cutting, these women went through weeks of teachings on health, leadership, and cultural values.
Traditional songs and dancing filled the surroundings as the women, dressed in colorful cultural attire, took part in activities marking their transition into womanhood. But unlike the conventional Bondo initiation, this ceremony took place without female genital mutilation. The process was designed to prepare them for adulthood while preserving the cultural identity associated with the Bondo Society.
We learn how to respect elders, how to be responsible, we learn about hygiene, how to take care of yourself as a woman there, who they go. So we learn about all of them things thing. How to talk to big one, they all know we shout.
Well, for me, I feel safe while they inside it. I don't know for the next man, because before I go join that one way that they cut, instead of I go join that, they like join this.
Throughout the program, participants were engaged in lessons and mentorship sessions aimed at equipping them with knowledge on personal development, health, relationships, leadership, and their responsibilities within their families and communities. For the organizers, the objective is not to remove culture from the process, but to preserve its positive values.
Since 2019, Amazonian Initiative Movement initiated the bloodless rite with 75 young women as a way of showing the country of how we can preserve Bondo as a culture and at the same time protect women and girls from the harmful practice of female genital mutilation.
The Mabale ceremony marks the fourth batch of women to complete the alternative rite of passage under the Bloodless Bondo initiative. For many parents and community members, the program represents a new pathway for preserving Bondo traditions while protecting girls and women from the harmful effects of female genital mutilation.
So I go tell me company to then lock on what behind them that other Bondo, that first same Bondo, where then they cut, they will left and this one as we find.
More than 20 Sowe's from communities across the chiefdom publicly declared that they had abandoned the practice of cutting and were embracing the bloodless Bondo approach. Each of them was subsequently presented with a certificate recognizing them as a bloodless Bondo Society Sowe's.
So be more tanene. Or the torisu. Side by 8 or more churras. Ogamasagisan.
As the songs and celebrations continued, the 55 women were formally welcomed into their communities, marking a new chapter in their lives, one that organizers hope will demonstrate the tradition and the protection of girls can move forward together. Isabangura, AYV News, Freetown.
Also, it is stepping up efforts to counter cybercrime as more people move their financial, commercial, and even personal activities online. The National Cybersecurity Coordinator, Marama Yoma, says stronger systems and greater public awareness are needed to protect citizens, businesses, and state institutions from digital attacks. Christosha Williams reports.
For many Sierra Leoneans, the internet has become part of everyday life, from mobile banking and business transactions to communication and access to public services. But that growing dependence has also created opportunities for criminals, with scams, identity theft, and other forms of online fraud posing increasing risks.
Maybe they see plenty. They will tell you, say you don't win lotto, me I not play lotto, how are they win? Or you don't win one motor car, how the situation happen, or maybe you don't get, if you in an office, then say you get one HR form, then they review you, maybe if na pension, or maybe if na you leave, you just need for click a link. So all that they can happen, then they send you, they will send you email, because for most of the people that will get Facebook accounts, they all get email accounts and tied to the Facebook account. So they will send and so then they will say they don't lock, they will create some amount of urgency. They don't lock your Facebook account. If you don't go there now or you click this particular link, you're not able to get access to your Facebook account. So then go do all that one day.
Businesses and public agencies can be particularly vulnerable, where confidential information and essential services depend on digital systems. Improving technical safeguards must therefore be matched by greater understanding of basic online security.
What we for do? We need for them in a situation now where we need for verify everything what they receive. It don't mean say because you receive some message from somebody where you feel say you sabi na the person. We stop, we verify, call the person. Hey, mama, I received message na WhatsApp or now you send her. And then from there now you say, okay, this is an attack. You remember for take screenshot because they send the mobile money account. And then you report. When you report the number that day, police to take the necessary action.
Members of the public are being urged to verify suspicious messages, avoid unknown links, and protect passwords and other sensitive information.
We therefore think about the mobile companies. I'm not against one particular mobile company, but it's too common with Orange Money. We're integrating, and that's the Orange Money. So, I think they have something for do, that's something for do actually to stop when here comes back again government for coming. Because if government coming, then just get for come, because you then say, well, I need to do something. Because and then you control then communication and everything. I think they get for find way how for do it. Even though somebody could say, well, it happen in advanced country, but at least let them try the laws.
Sierra Leone's digital economy expands. Authorities say tackling cybercrime will require vigilance beyond government institutions. For users, a moment of caution online could prevent a costly breach. Christosha Williams, AYV News, Freetown.
All right, for entertainment news tonight, let's hear from Anna Youngson.
The atmosphere was filled with excitement, confidence, and anticipation as young women stepped forward to showcase what makes them unique. From talent displays to personal presentations, the contestants demonstrated their confidence, creativity, and passion, hoping to secure one of the coveted 10 places in the main competition. With more than 15 contestants participating in the auditions, competition was intense as each candidate sought to impress the organizers and prove that she has what it takes to represent the ideals of the Miss M.I. Elegance International Beauty Pageant.
Tonight means everything to us because this is the night that we are going to shortlist the eligible contestants that are going to participate in the upcoming event. So we have few prerequisites. One is contestant eligibility. How eligible these contestants are to be part of the Miss M.I. Elegance 2026. One of these eligibility requirements is your intellectual ability. We need a contestant that can articulate for us well, that can be a good representative for us, because as you all know, the winner is going to represent us in Morocco and also going to have a here deal with us. So we want that winner to be 100% okay, to represent us in any given platform.
I want to reassure not only the pageants, but their fans, family, and supporters that this is a credible event. And that is one reason why I am here, for them to know that this is not amongst those contests that are fixed. This is not amongst those pageant shows that are fixed. Here, when you come, you showcase what you have, you prove yourself to be worthy of being the victor or being victorious. Nothing will stop you from getting that.
The organizers say the initiative goes beyond the international concept of a beauty pageant. They describe it as an empowerment platform aimed at helping young women build confidence, develop leadership skills, and gain greater appreciation for cultural diversity.
Well, it means a lot to me because this is my own career field, and I'm very passionate about my career and committed to becoming a woman who will further use her voice to educate, advocate, inspire, and create positive change in my community, Sierra Leone, and the world at large. So this means a lot to me because it's like a stepping stone to pursue and to move forward with my career.
For the contestants, the audition represents more than a chance to wear a crown. It is an opportunity to use their voices, talent, and influence to promote Sierra Leone's rich cultural heritage and contribute to conversations around tourism, women's empowerment, and international cooperation. As the selection process concludes, attention now turns to the 10 successful contestants who will proceed to the actual Miss M.I. Elegance International Beauty Pageant. And for those who make the final cut, the journey towards the crown and the responsibility that comes with it has only just begun. Hannah Yankson, AYV News, Freetown.
All right, let's now welcome Aresta Samura for some sport updates tonight. Good evening and welcome.
Good evening, Victor, and hello to our viewers around the world. For our sports updates tonight, Sierra Leone suffered their second defeat in the ongoing ICC Under-19 Men's Cricket World Cup African Division 2 qualifiers in Rwanda, as you see from the background. Well, in the match against the host Rwanda, post 3-2 runs, while Sierra Leone were bowled out for the 253, resulting in a 49-run victory for Rwanda. Well, despite Sierra Leone's loss to host, Ibrahim K. Bangura stood out with a superb unbeaten 102 of 106 balls and was named player of the match for his outstanding performance. Well, the team's next challenge is against Mozambique on Wednesday morning. We are wishing Team Sierra Leone all the best. Away from that, FA Cup champions Easter Lions have announced the appointment of Patrick Bangura as their new head coach on a 2-year deal, where Coach Bangura arrives at the club following an impressive spell with Old Edwardians FC in the just concluded Sierra Leone Premier League, where he played a key role in steering the team to a top 5 finish. His reputation continues to rise, having also been named the new head coach of Sierra Leone Under-17 national team. Sierra Stars and will guide the team to the CAF Confederation Cup first preliminary qualifiers. All the best to Coach Patrick. And now on the international stage, world football superstar Cristiano Ronaldo, popularly known as CR7, celebrated a major milestone today as he married his longtime partner, Georgiana Rodriguez. Marking the occasion, Ronaldo posted a photo on Instagram of their hands side by side, displaying their wedding rings with the simple yet heartfelt caption, "C loves G." Well, the post quickly captured the hearts of fans worldwide, demonstrating the special bond between the football icon and Georgiana on their unforgettable day. It was indeed a milestone feat for the couple. Well, that's it for Sports Update tonight. Over to you, Victor.
Indeed, thank you so very much indeed. It's truly heartwarming. Love wins eventually. And so that's all we'll have time for tonight on Primetime News. For more stories, do visit our website at www.ayvnews.com. And if you have any comment on this news or indeed any of our programs being aired here, do not hesitate to send us an email to info@ayvnews.com. As always, my name is Victor Jones. Thanks for watching and listening. Good night.